Do you support or oppose initiative measure 11, which would ban all abortions with the exception of protecting the mother's life, rape, or incest?
A woman sitting up here in the front of the room, so that means I'm the only mother sitting up here in the front of the room. And I know there's mothers out here, I know several of you that have given birth. And I can't tell you how I felt, those of you that aren't mothers, I can't tell you how I felt when my children were born. I cannot ever imagine feeling that way again, because I don't plan on having any more children. But how can anyone hold a baby in the arms as a mother and say, I believe I should have killed this baby before it was born? I am not an advocate of abortion. What I am an advocate of is choice, because I believe in rights. I believe that everyone has the right to make decisions for themselves. I believe in landowners' rights, in gun owners' rights, and in the rights of women to make their own decision. And so I will vote pro-choice on Initiative 10, but I am definitely not anti-life. I think people that say they're pro-life then give the indication that those that vote against them are anti-life. That's not true. I'm pro-life, I am pro-choice.
What you see here is a fundamental difference between myself and my two opponents. I believe abortion should be safe, legal, and rare. I think we need to take care, make sure we're taking care of the families we have here in South Dakota, offering them every choice, but make sure that they still have that option. There's only one abortion clinic in South Dakota. It only operates 2 days a week, I understand, or maybe less. It's in Sioux Falls. We have plenty of protections in place. What we need to understand here is the voters of South Dakota have already spoken on this issue. With Initiated Measure 11, like all initiated measures, I support the right of South Dakotans to put issues that are passionate to them on the ballot. I think that's what they've done here. But we also need to make sure that after we have spoken, we don't end up being guinea pigs for the rest of the country. Abortion is a deeply personal issue, and I probably shouldn't do this in a forum, but I really agree with Chuck. It should be left to the individual and leave it there. If this were to pass, from a financial standpoint, South Dakota will be charged with defending it all the way to the Supreme Court. As a state, we've spoken on this. The choice now rests with the individual where I believe it should stay. We need to make sure that we're doing things in education and healthcare and other things to support the families we have here in South Dakota, giving them all the possible options. But on this bill, this initiated measure, I'm going to have to say that I do not support it because of its fiscal outcome, with us having to defend it to the Supreme Court. Also, for the rights intrusions into, the way I read it, into doctor-patient privilege, with what they have to show with health of the mother, rape and incest, some of those very intrusive things that I think would discourage people that are victims of rape and incest from going into the doctor. And then also just from the standpoint that I believe it is an individual choice that each person has to make, and then the state has no business legislating that for them.
Thank you. Against the 11, it is just too cumbersome. It has too many questions, too many legal problems. It has too many fiscal problems because, as was said earlier, by doing that, it's against the law of the land, as said by the Supreme Court in 1973. It's going to bring a huge financial burden to the state of South Dakota if we have to defend that. That being said, agree with a number of the comments that have been said today. I believe that those decisions belong with a pastor, a priest, the people involved, the doctor, the woman, the spouse, the father. I can't see 105 legislators making that choice, and I hope it stays out of the legislature. But if it does, I will continue to vote for the betterment of the health and the decisions made at the level of the mother, the child, and the father, and their spiritual guidance.
I vote pro-life. I am. However, if you follow the votes that I've had in the legislature, what I have advocated in the past, and I will continue, is I will not vote to have this issue become political. A couple of times we've had issues in the legislature where they say, okay, the legislature either through a bill or a joint resolution should bring this issue to the people. I disagree. I'm pro-life. I will continue to vote that way, but I do not want the legislature, 105 individuals, to take on this type of issue. It's where it should be right now. It should be with the people. Now, as far as 11, I spent the last couple of days with my daughter, who is a teacher in a Catholic school in Pierre, and we talked about this extensively, and we read through this bill. This is a tough bill. I mean, this is probably something that is without a doubt is going to be referred is going to be declared unconstitutional. It's going to take probably 5 years for the Supreme Court to look at it. It's probably going to cost the state $3 to $4 million if that happens. I am opposed to abortion, but on this bill, I had to vote against it because it is too incapacitating, too much so. But still, I'm pro-life, and I will see to it that the legislature does not get involved in issues of this type.
Chuck just indicated, I too am pro-life. This bill troubles me, however. I'm pro-life with exceptions for rape, incest, and the health of the mother. And I believe that this bill is really intrusive and prescriptive when it comes to the health of the mother. And I do believe that this is in the right spot. It's in the hands of the people, and I think that's where it should be. My personal opinion is it's very troubling for me. I've had to investigate this thing and check it very, very carefully. And at the end of the day, I must vote yes on this particular bill. But I must urge all of you to read this thing, check with your friends, neighbors who are in the medical profession, and vote with your conscience and vote in an informed manner. I have to urge that because this is a critical issue in our state, and elected to peer, I will vote pro-life.